Welcome back here, y'all, to another live. Let's see here. We're gonna go ahead and get everything all set up first, real quickly. Let's see here. All right, y'all. What's up? Hope everyone's having a good night so far. We do have ourselves another update for y'all regarding what we could potentially see here with the upcoming weather here for right around Thanksgiving. We're looking at a potential winter storm out there. What's up, SPC Indiana? Hope you're doing good, my friend. What's up, Rocka? What's up, Jim? What's up, Joe Mama? Hope you're doing good. Hello from Kansas City. Hello from Florida, my friend. Hope you're doing good. Let's see here. What's up, Samuel? Welcome, welcome. So yeah, guys, we're watching here out the possibility here for some snowfall and stuff like that out there right around Thanksgiving. We were doing a bit of a live stream earlier, getting y'all updated with all what we had earlier. We do have some new information and stuff like that with the models and everything, which we're getting ready to get into and stuff like that. Let's see, I found something about Lakeland you may not know. Okay, put it in chat. What's up, Grace? Hope you're doing good. What's up, Christian? What's up, Tiffany? Hope you're doing good, my friends. So yeah, anyways, so taking a look here at the latest models. We got the Euro ECMWF here, which is, we have the 12 Zulu run that came through. So Euro is still on board with this thing becoming a potential problem, maybe regarding to heavy snowfall and stuff like that out there towards, areas in like New York State, out there near Vermont, New Hampshire, portions out there of Maine. There's going to be a fair amount of precipitation there for like the Ohio Valley here too. If we actually hop our way over to the eastern U.S., you can see that we're going to actually have a fair amount of precipitation out there, towards the Tennessee Valley, Ohio Valley, and stuff like that. We're going to have a pretty good amount of precipitation. Now, as we were talking about earlier, if you guys were not here to really be here in order to know what I was talking about, we actually are possibly going to be seeing a bit of severe weather. Here, let's go ahead and bring up my other program here. We're going to go ahead and bring this up for you guys, or the other page here. So what we were looking at earlier is that there could be enough instability and stuff like that to allow for maybe a bit of thunderstorm activity. We'll have to see about severe thunderstorm activity and whatnot, but this is the latest GFS here. We will be keeping an eye on it. We will be keeping a close eye out there for it. There's enough instability that, to theoretically allow for a bit of severe storms to occur. Especially with the jet stream. We have a pretty strong mid-level jet. I mean, we're talking, 75 knot lower-level jet, or sorry, mid-level jet at that point. Very, very strong jet stream will be in place, as well as, like I mentioned, there will be, enough instability to allow for maybe some storms. Now, that's there for Thanksgiving. That's literally there for Thanksgiving. 18 Zulu, that is Thanksgiving Day, right around the afternoon, kind of late morning, afternoon. So we'll have to be looking out there for that possibility there too. Dew points here, they're going to be in the 60s. Pretty solid overall. Overall, there's a pretty good amount of moisture and stuff like that could be at play regarding this. So from what it looks like, the environment, the atmosphere out here could be, capable of some storms overall. What's up, Peachy? Hope you're doing good. Let's see here. I'm not going anywhere for the holiday. Can't afford to. I hear you, Grace. I am in the same boat. I understand completely. What's up, Jenny? Saying, hey, hope all is well with you, crew and the followers. God bless you. Thank you for joining, Jenny. Hope you're doing good. Let's see here. I'm going to be in Las Vegas on December 1st, which is next Sunday. I need to know what weather Las Vegas on that day. So I don't think there's anything significant going up there towards Las Vegas anytime soon. I know the West has been getting a lot of precip, especially the Pacific Northwest, and a lot of those upper elevations there. Honestly, yeah, there's really not a lot of anything expected, other than maybe some precipitation here for the 26th. But you said for next week, right? So Yeah, next Sunday. Yep, you're good, man. Honestly, you're gonna be pretty fine. There's really not a whole lot going on out there, to be honest with you. I think you'll be good. Let's see here. Vegas has been chilly. A lot of places have been chilly. I tell you what, man, that's actually another thing we got to look out for. Whoops, it's a little too far zoomed out. It's another thing we got to look out for is, you know, a big old cool down is going to possibly occur out of this. If we hop over to the temperatures here, you can see the GFS. I mean, we're going to have quite the cool down here with this system that rolls through. Let's see here. So this is going to be for, yeah, right around Thanksgiving. You can see that cold air really starts to dig its way down. Pretty chilly. This is actually the morning of November 30th here. I mean, look at that. You can see those temperatures are going to be like in the 20s across the Ohio Valley, possibly in the single digits out there towards, like, you know, North Dakota and whatnot. Pretty darn cold, and even out there towards, like, you know, Florida and whatnot. I mean, it's going to be fairly chilly still. I mean, today or this morning it did get down to like 44, I think, here in Central Florida. You know, even then for November 30th, this is for the 7 a.m. commute, which is the morning. You know, that freezing line could be, you know, as far down as out there towards like Alabama, maybe. You know, that could be a possibility. Let's see here, 19 wind chill up in New York State. Ooh, yeah. Pretty cold. What's up, MP? Hope you're doing good, my friend. Let's see. What's Liberty, Mississippi looking like for Thanksgiving, Andrew? And happy Thanksgiving. I appreciate it. So, we're watching for possible severe weather. We can't be for sure exactly where it's going to be. We're not too sure exactly where 100% that's going to fully kick into. So we're going to watch the general area. It still is a little too early to tell for you, but, you know, there could be enough instability. Models have been talking about it for the last little bit, last several model runs, maybe a bit of instability, you know, good amount of wind shear as well. Like our mid-level winds are ripping. So there could be some organization, possibly organized severe weather. We'll have to watch it, but it's still a little early to tell. Let's see here. What's up, Lake Effect? Hope you're doing good. 61 to 39 for Thursday for Vegas. Yeah, it's pretty chilly. Pretty chilly. But yeah, so we'll have to keep an eye out there for possible severe weather too. You know, we'll keep you all posted on that. Keep you guys updated with it. In the meantime, you know, regarding what we can expect here. Actually, I do want to bring this up for you guys real quickly. There's actually a clipper system that is going to roll through tomorrow, here for tomorrow, up there towards like Wisconsin and Michigan. You know, we could get a bit of wintry weather out there. So that's actually starting to generate here right about now. We're starting to get a little bit of winter weather starting to generate. This could drive a bit of, you know, snowfall for upper portions of Wisconsin, you know, northern Minnesota, the upper peninsula, or the upper state, not necessarily peninsula, but upper state of Michigan. Then, you know, that could bring a decent amount of snowfall, you know, overall. And then, of course, we start to work our way into the 27th, and then that's where you can kind of see we have that other system that develops for right around Thanksgiving, which that's going to be the main storm here overall, as you can kind of tell. So we'll definitely, you know, we're starting to get some mid-range model support and stuff like that. So we'll be watching this a lot closer. Let's see. Todd says, "Hey Andrew, it's Todd, Ottawa. I have been following AccuWeather in the weather network at Ottawa. Have 3 upcoming snowstorms predicted by both sites." Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you this. AccuWeather is not so accurate. So first of all, they said that hurricane was going to be a Category 3 that we were, you know, still a little iffy about. They had their own personal forecast saying it was going to be a Cat 3 in Florida during the last tropical storm. It didn't even reach Florida. So we were monitoring that as well. They just flat out put it out. It's going to be a Cat 3 at landfall, and it didn't. Now, we're also talking about the people who do a monthly, 3-month forecast, literally day by day, 3 months out. Not very accurate, I'm going to tell you that. But anyways, but yeah, I mean, especially if you're saying 3 snowstorms ahead, you know, I'm a little iffy about that because, you know, honestly, the appropriate range to be monitoring weather is no more than 5 days, really. Anything past 5 days can get a little iffy, you know, as there is a little bit more uncertainty the further you go out, of course. Now, with you saying 3 snowstorms in a row there, that's probably going to take place over several days, if it even does. So we'll see. We'll see. But anyways, man, hope you're doing good. Let's see here. It didn't even become a hurricane because it basically just hugged land, and that it didn't even develop. But yeah, then you had AccuWeather. They're saying it was going to be a Category 3 landfall in Florida. So I'm not really a fan of them, to be honest with you. Anyways, but yeah, so that's that. NAM is obviously picking up on that snowfall there. You know, potential snow out there by the Ohio Valley. Now, this is for 7 a.m. on the 28th, so by the morning time, we could be having a bit of snowfall out there towards like the Ohio Valley, Ohio, Michigan, you know, Pennsylvania, New York State. You can see that the Great Lakes out here, we are going to be having a bit of warmer temperatures due to the lake influence. Obviously, the lake itself is still fairly warm. So that warm air is going to be, you know, kind of keeping things above freezing, and therefore not really any snow up in these green areas. Green representing rainfall, the blue representing snowfall. For the people who are wondering. Let's see here. What's the temperatures in Texas looking for the next week or so? Heard it's going to be below average. Yeah, so we're actually going to get pretty cold across the country, not just necessarily Texas, but, you know, for quite a bit of the country. Because we have this low pressure system rolling through, it's going to be shooting down a lot of cold air. Let's see here. Yeah, shooting down a lot of cold air into the country. You know, taking a peek here at the temperatures for basically the morning of the 30th. That's about 6 days out or so. You know, we're going to be possibly in the 40s and all that stuff. Actually, we're going to be having a cold front roll through here pretty soon. You know, right around Thanksgiving or so, we're going to have a cold front roll through. You can actually see the line there. That's your cold front. We got a bit of that cooler air from up north pushing down. You know, 70s, 60s on the bottom side of the cold front, and it transitions into 50s and stuff. So, yeah, pretty cold, especially as we work our way. Actually, this is for the morning of November 29th, so this is, 5 days away? You know, we could be in the 30s, you know, across to Texas. And look at that. The freezing point is right where this line is. So this is where the blue is, and above, that's all freezing. This is all freezing temps. Now, this area here, we could break sub-zero up there towards North Dakota. Not just GFS, but here's Euro. We're now looking at European model. It's showing the same thing, you know, sub-zero, possibly negative temperatures in some spots out there. I mean, it's going to be very cold. Still very, very cold out there. Still possibly 30s, maybe a little warmer towards Texas, but still in the 30s, you know, overall. Definitely pretty cold. And then you got CMC. Now, this is more of an aggressive model with the temperatures. I mean, look at that. This is not only showing North Dakota, but also like South Dakota, breaking into the negatives temperature-wise. Now, this does not feel like this is actual temperature overall. And then you got freezing point here that goes, you know, through Texas, and actually a bit more cooler in Texas, as this model kind of shows us in the 20s. Then you got Icon. Icon showing, once again, North Dakota in the negative. So, you know, that's kind of a common denominator here. All of the models that we just looked at, you know, does suggest, you know, sub-zero temperatures in North Dakota. You know, we're already starting to see a lot of really, really cold air starting to work its way down in the country, which I really do think that we're going to be in for quite a cold winter, you know, especially for some of these areas up in the top northern portion of the country, you know, the northern plains. I really do think that you guys are going to be pretty darn cold this year. You know, typical during La Nina and neutral conditions, it typically can bring down some cool air, and well, we're already starting to see that, actually. So we're getting there. We're getting there. Let's see here. Annie says sharing. Appreciate it. Texas says winter is coming. Yes, it is, my friend. It'll be here next month around this time next month. I mean, shoot, month from today, Christmas Eve. So we're getting there. but it's still haven't had Thanksgiving yet. Let's see here. Just got an updated forecast. Gotcha. 2 to 3 centimeters Tuesday morning. I mean, that's not an absurd amount of snow, but it's, it's something. Anyways, but yeah, so regarding the snowfall for Thanksgiving, stuff like that. So looking at the models, we're going to hop to the eastern U.S. view. So the GFS has been kind of on its own little thing here. Suggesting that the storm that develops for Thanksgiving just mostly remains as rain. And rolling through the mid-Atlantic, maybe dousing some of the coastal areas of New England, maybe getting a little bit of precipitation out there, but keeping the storm relatively just in terms of rainfall. Now, afterwards, here's the thing. You can see that we start to get a little bit of blue popping up here. This is actually going to be lake effect snow. The thing is that what's happening here is we're getting a lot of cooler air coming down from up north, from Canada. A lot of that cool polar air coming down. So that Arctic air is going to be rolling over the warmer Great Lakes. Now, like I mentioned, the Great Lakes are fairly warm. And so that really sharp cold air is going to be rolling over those relatively warm Great Lakes, which will start to condense, and we'll start to get some snowfall. Now, that's what the model's picking up on here. As you can see that, there's these kind of strings of snow. That is the GFS in this case, showing a good amount of, snowfall overall. So we honestly, if you're out there towards like coastal portions of, Michigan, coastal, like northeastern Ohio, coastal northwestern Pennsylvania, western New York State here, honestly, I would monitor this for the next several days. It kind of shows that lake effect snow maybe being an issue for possibly right around the 28th, 29th or so. Which, it's still too early for sure regarding exactly how much snow, but we could be talking feet. So we'll have to watch that very closely. What's up, J Lord? Hope you're doing good. Welcome. Let's see, a few flurries Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Nice. Enjoy your snow. We don't get it down here in Florida. Not very often. Actually, I think last big snow in Florida was in the 70s. I think the late 70s, 77. I think. I wasn't around then, but yeah, it was a miracle. But anyways, so yeah, that's GFS here. That's essentially what GFS is showing. Oh yeah, once again, like I said, tomorrow we got that little clipper here up for the upper portion of Michigan, upper portion of Wisconsin, like northeastern areas here of Minnesota there. So that is that. Now, in terms of accumulation, we're going to hop back to that mid-range model support. Here's the NAM. You can see all that snowfall that's going to be falling out there. It really seems like that snow is going to start to come together literally at any time at this point here. Honestly, let's actually bring up current radar. Let's see here. Let's actually bring up current radar just to see what we got going on up here. Okay, so this is current radar. We do have a little bit of snow actually starting to roll through here in like western Minnesota, a little bit out here towards like kind of west and central Nebraska. So if we hop back to the model here, later on, so yeah, that kind of lines up. That little bit in western Nebraska, a little bit here in, heading into western Minnesota. Okay, so that lines up pretty well. That's going to continue to grow in size overnight, in which you can see then we start to get some pretty decent, moderate, possibly heavy snowfall occurring, up there towards, northern Minnesota, upper portion of Wisconsin, and really I think a lot of it's going to be up there towards like the upper part of Michigan, not for the peninsula of Michigan, but for like the upper portion here overall. Now, accumulation-wise, exactly regarding how much snowfall we could get. This is one model, by the way, okay? So take this with a grain of salt. Don't take this too serious based off of this number. But, I think it's honestly probably a fair assessment to say we could see at least, a good 3 to 5 inches or so up here towards the upper portion of Michigan. According to NAM, we could be breaching possibly, 4 to 8 inches, locally higher amounts being possible. That does seem to be a possibility. Then you got other models like the HRRR, which we'll look at real quickly, just to kind of get an idea what the HRRR has to suggest. Yeah, honestly, really not far off from what the NAM was showing just there. Yeah, some of the heaviest snow being kind of on the eastern side of the upper state of Michigan. You know, basically saying that these folks out here could be picking up maybe a good 3 to 5 inches, locally higher amounts, and then you guys out here could be picking up probably more towards like 4 to 8 inches. Possibly a locally higher amount as well. That's that. That's one model though too. But it does seem like that's pretty pretty good. Models are those two models were kind of agreeing on that. Let's see here. What else we got? We could also look at a few other models too. Just let's get some long range models in here. Yeah, CMC. Possibly a good 3 to 5 inches out there. So it's not perfectly aligned, but there is. There's a pretty good amount of agreement on that. I mean, honestly. So yeah, upper portions of Michigan, honestly, could be a decent amount of snowfall. Not anything absurdly crazy, but could be a nice little snow. So enjoy that tomorrow. We might. I don't think it's gonna need any coverage or anything like that, but we'll give you guys updates on it throughout the day. Okay. Anyways, hopping on back here to let's go back to the eastern side of the U.S. and then we're going to pull back over to our models again. So, obviously, whenever it comes to the Thanksgiving storm, it is way too early to be able to tell snowfall. Like I mentioned, the GFS here kind of keeps that system mostly just a rainmaker. You can see for like the Mid-Atlantic overall, coastal New England potentially. But then, like I said, that cold air coming behind causing a lot of lake effect snow, which, could really pond up a lot of snow accumulations throughout Michigan, Ohio, portions of Pennsylvania, like western portions of, New York State, could be picking up several inches, if not feet of snow. Still a little early to be for sure, but then of course you have like Euro. Now we're going to talk Euro. Euro, as you're going to see, is much different. So we have that little clipper that rolls through here for tomorrow. Then we have, that second system that starts to develop here right around the 27th, going into the 28th. But yeah, you can obviously see that there's already a big difference. The first main difference is the fact that that low pressure there, that's actually positioned a little bit further to the north. That's not necessarily quite where the GFS had it. The GFS actually kind of had that low going off this direction, kind of just remaining itself, remaining its, it overall further to the south, while the Euro actually has that, has that low being a little bit further to the north. Allowing for more precipitation to go into the interior portions of, like New England and stuff like that. Now, those coastal areas are going to likely just remain rain due to the fact, like I mentioned, that the sea out here, the ocean out here, is going to, the water is still fairly warm, which, can allow for those coastal areas to, actually be a bit warm in themselves. So the coastal areas of New England probably just going to remain to rain, but the interior portions of New England, you guys could be actually getting a bit of snow. So that's obviously, what we're looking at here. So yeah, back over the GFS, you can see GFS has that system much lower and only really rainfall, while the Euro has it higher up, possibly more snow. Then you have models like the CMC, which CMC kind of the latest model is a little bit different here. Really elongated low here. Look at that, really large low, with a really good amount of rainfall. Possibly picking up some snow there towards the later portion, kind of more for the 29th. But then, once again, that lake effect snow kicks in, like we were mentioning here. This is the CMC model suggesting that. Then, of course, you got the GFS suggesting that, the Euro suggesting that, and then even the Icon, suggesting that snowfall, that lake effect snow. So, all models are actually on top of the lake effect snow. That's pretty much a given. And the reason that we can kind of say that that's a safe bet is just due to the basic dynamics. I mean, you have really cold air rolling over warm waters. I mean, that's pretty easy to forecast. So that confidence is high regarding the lake effect snow to follow after Thanksgiving overall. Let's see here. All right, see you later, Samuel. Thanks for joining, man. Appreciate it. But yeah, so that's the differences in the models and stuff like that. Once again, still a little too early to tell, regarding snowfall accumulations and stuff like that. Now, Icon, you can see showing a little bit of snowfall. The GFS was the one that was a little iffy on that. Euro wants some snow. Icon wants some snow. So, 3 out of 4 models there shows, some snow for right around Thanksgiving for areas up there towards, like, interior New England, basically like Pennsylvania, like New York State, possibly could be seeing that. Then shortly after that lake effect snow taking over. And then, of course, we actually do have the mid-range model support. Just getting to that point, so the end of the NAM, you can start to see, even NAM suggests that there will be some snow involved. Pretty good amount, actually, according to NAM. Possibly across the Ohio Valley, but also, like, portions of, the Northeast. So that is something that we'll have to keep an eye on, now that we're starting to get mid-range model support, a little bit higher resolution, and stuff like that. It's going to be pretty important. Now, one thing I do want to do is actually hop to the NAM here, and you can actually see that we're starting to get that mid-range model support. Like I mentioned, it's not just going to be winter weather. There's going to be that shot for maybe even some severe weather as well as we approach our way actually for Thanksgiving here. So we'll continue monitoring this. It's still not 100% sure that it's going to be this big event or anything like that. But, we could have maybe a few strong to severe storms that could kick off here right around Thanksgiving. According to NAM here, at the end of the run, you can actually see that we do have some instability, some fuel in the atmosphere that possibly could allow for maybe some severe weather, maybe some thunderstorms. So that in itself, we'll have to keep an eye out there for. But then also, if you look at the dew points, you notice that we have this big area here in the 60s, which is really supplying good amount of moisture, a good adequate amount of moisture to the storms, which will get them going. And then lastly, we do have a pretty strong mid-level jet. Look at that thing. A very, very strong ripper of a jet stream we have going across the region there. That jet stream is going to keep those storms relatively organized. The instability is going to fuel those storms. The moisture is going to be helping out a lot too. So, yeah, the ingredients are in place, for a potential, severe weather possibility. Now, let me go bring up SPC. I don't think they have anything yet. Regarding so they don't have anything quite yet regarding the risk areas. So there's no areas at risk as of now. But yeah, we'll just monitor that. It still is a little a little early to be for sure, but it does seem like the models have been kind of trending that possibility. You can almost kind of make it out there, that little line developing there. And that's going to be there for literally Thanksgiving. And like I mentioned, as we approach our way, this is actually a scan for 7 a.m. on the 28th, so the morning of Thanksgiving. NAM shows, these areas in snow. So once again, the blue showing snow, the green showing the rain and stuff like that. Now, the folks out there by the central U.S., you guys are going to be relatively good, but yeah, honestly, not really a lot going on out there. The low starts to develop out there by, like, Oklahoma and whatnot, and then that low tracks eastbound, starts to drop a lot of moisture from the Gulf of Mexico. That's why it really starts to take off there, which then eventually works its way to the northeast. And at that time, that cooler air is starting to, work itself onto that northern part of the precipitation, which, turns that into snow. So that's that. Honestly, for Thanksgiving here, it looks pretty good. We could have some impacts here, obviously, for Thanksgiving. Now, for the West, honestly, the West is actually looking fairly calm for Thanksgiving here. Maybe a couple upper level, snow showers near like Idaho, maybe towards Montana or whatnot. The night before, though, still seeing a lot of, heavy snowfall and stuff like that. The 26th, and the 27th, pretty good amount of upper level snowfall will continue to fall. But as we work our way into Thanksgiving, things calm down, and actually we look pretty good in the West. So that's good. It's really only the Northeast here and areas out there by, like, the Ohio Valley, and interior portions of New England that needs to just monitor it and stuff like that. We'll keep you guys posted. We'll do another. Well, actually, we'll make a video tomorrow, giving you guys updates on that, and we'll make sure to include a timestamp and the models and stuff like that. So we'll get into that here whenever the time comes tomorrow. As you know, tomorrow we'll have more NAM runs and stuff like that. We'll have more model support, you know, also mid-range model support, stuff like that. So that will be pretty good. Now temperatures at this point, so this is what radar is going to look like. Now temperatures at the same exact time, you know, overall, as you can see, honestly, going to be relatively slightly below, or sorry, yes, slightly above freezing. Some areas are right at freezing, some areas right around freezing. So I wouldn't really count on any significant accumulations and stuff like that, especially for roadways and everything. Now we might get some accumulations out there, of course. If we did, it would be towards, you know, some of those grassy areas, you know, the areas that are not necessarily as hot as, you know, say the roads. The roads take a bit to cool off and stuff like that. So now, just because we can, just because we will, don't take this serious. You know, take this lightly, y'all. Take these accumulations lightly. This is what the NAM suggests regarding snowfall and stuff like that, you know, regarding how much we could see. Don't get your hopes up, like I said, okay? But honestly, you know, a couple of inches. Really not a whole lot, according to the NAM here. GFS showing really not a lot at all. Lake effect, like we mentioned, could be an issue at some point. Still a little too early to tell the exact accumulations. Euro, I don't have available info on that. CMC here, yeah, CMC shows a pretty good amount, especially with that lake effect that rolls through. Could do a thing, but yeah, too early to tell for accumulations and stuff like that. So we're just gonna leave that as it is, and whenever that does get closer, we'll talk more about that, you know, in terms of how much we can expect and all that stuff. But anyways, if you guys have any questions, feel free to throw them down in the chat. If you're new to the channel, consider hitting that like, subscribe. Greatly appreciated, y'all. Once again, thank you for joining. Hope you guys are having a great night. Obviously, it's getting a little bit late here, and you know, we got a new work week start tomorrow, so probably going to wrap it up here pretty shortly. But just wanted to hop on here for a little bit, give you all the weather updates, let you guys know kind of what we're in store for and everything like that. If you guys did enjoy it, once again, leave a like, hit that subscribe button, be much appreciated. If you have any final questions before I roll off here, feel free to let me know. And if not, then we'll see you guys tomorrow for another update and stuff like that. But I do appreciate y'all joining and hanging out with us. But all right, everybody. Well, that's going to go ahead and wrap it up here. Once again, thank you for joining. You guys take care. Have a wonderful rest of your night. Sleep good. Have a great day at work or school or whatever you're doing tomorrow. And all right, everybody. Y'all take care. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, my friends. Catch y'all later on.